Hi everyone, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. In today's video, I just want to do a quick get ready with me, play around with some new products. I have the new palette from Nomad Cosmetics, a few face products from LA Girl, Elf, new CC cream, the Live Tinted Concealer. So I'm going to go ahead and use all these products up in this video. So if that is appealing to you at all, stick around. Also get ready with me if you feel like it. Yeah, let's get into it. All I have on right now is my skincare, which has been on about 10 minutes now. First, I'm going to do my brows. I already did take a brow pencil. I took the Maybelline Express Brow in the shade medium brown just to create like some evenness on the other side of the brow. But to, excuse me, to fill it in, I'm actually going to go in with this new brow product I picked up. It's called Build a Brow, also from Maybelline. I have mine in the shade ash brown. So essentially on this side you have a brow pen. Looks like that. And on the other side, I wouldn't call this a brow gel. It's more like a sealer so that this pigmentation doesn't like run or anything on you. I have used this a few times and I'm normally not a brow pen sort of person. I prefer pencils, but this is really nice. The pigmentation is very pigmented, but it's not like runny. The brush tip is super thin. I feel like it does a really good job giving you hair-like strokes. So if you're someone who likes to draw in hairs, this is a great little brow product to have. My only issue is that it doesn't have a spoolie really. So I feel like it works well in conjunction with other brow pencils, but as a standalone product, unless you're like super into like that very natural bushy hair like strokes, then you may need to pair it with some other brow products. Like I said, this gel does seal the product in, but it doesn't really hold your eyebrows in place. So sorry if I'm like all over the place. I have to be somewhere, so I don't want to take too much time doing my makeup, but I wanted to film a video using the new products I picked up recently. So like I said, I have used this a few times and I have been pleasantly surprised. So if you're someone who's into brow pens, great product. This also works really well for people that are into drawing freckles. So if you have a hard time finding any like freckle type product, you can always just use a brow pen. So I have like, I don't have a lot of brow, but the hairs in my brows can curl because I have curly hair. So this eyebrow gel alone will not tame these beasts. Airplane passing. I don't know if you can hear it. Okay. Today I'm going to be trying out the new New Zealand stargazing palette from Nomad Cosmetics. Never tried them before. Definitely has been a brand I've had my eye on for a very long time, ever since I've been interested in indie eyeshadows. So I would say that love sort of was born in the year probably during the COVID lockdown 2020. You know, I had a lot of time to be on social media discovering all these new brands. While they have put out beautiful palettes in the past, I don't know, it's like I never found myself ordering one from them. But when I saw this one, especially now that I have attempted a no buy, I did well, but I want to fight with some new makeup. I went ahead and picked this one up. Like, this color story is so pretty. It's very neutral with a lot of pops of color. You've got some like cool tone neutrals, some warmer tone neutrals, these very pretty shifty special shades. I think it is a very beautiful palette. Again, I never tried their eyeshadows before. I did do some quick swatches. They felt very smooth, very pigmented. But yeah, let's go ahead and create a look today with this palette. I'm gonna go ahead and prime first with this Milani eyeshadow primer. I'm normally not an eyeshadow primer kind of person, but I think I'm gonna pick one up. If you have any recommendations, leave me one in the comments. I do prefer one that has a bit coverage, just so that it covers like any veins or redness I may have. I need to wash my brushes. I'm running out of options. Like this one's good, but it's pretty clear. It has like no color, even though it looks like it will have color. So it doesn't do much for like any pigmentation I may have. Like I've tried the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, I may pick that one up. But if you have a better suggestion that is cheaper, I'd love that for me. Going in first with the shade Queenstown Skyline. Just like a very neutral peachy shade. And I'm just going to take like a fluffy brush and just run that all over the crease basically as our transition shade. First I like to like pat down the color and then blend the edges. And since I have such hooded eyes, I do like to bring the color up a bit higher, since majority of my landscape is above the fold. And I'm wearing a tad band because I'm tired of getting foundation in my hair, and it's the only one I have right now. Next, taking Carter Observatory, which is like this dark navy sort of blue. I'm going to take a smaller blending brush. I'm going to start just patting that along the lash line and slowly blend this color up. I want it most pigmented along the lash line and then sort of fade into a gradient. So to do that, you'll want to just saturate the color towards the lash line. And you can either take the same brush or go in with a clean blending brush and just slowly start working it upward. It's going to take a lot of blending, so be patient. Since I have hooded eyes, I do my makeup with my like eyebrows raised, but then I will relax my eye, look straight forward, and see how much higher I want it to go. Going back in with the original brush in that first shade we laid down, I'm just going to run that along the edge just to make sure it's even more blended and seamless. Going in with the shade Carina Nebula, one of the very pretty sparkly shades. I'm going to take that and just pack it towards the center of the eyeshadow look. Taking a small pencil brush, I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Aurora Borealis, I believe that's pronounced, and put this into the inner corner. I'm going to leave the eyes alone for right now. I'll come back to them later with like liner and lashes, but I'm going to move on to base. And let me know, like, I use a pretty deep blue and there's barely any fallout, like a little bit here on my nose, which I love. But that's the reason I always do my eyeshadow before I do my foundation, because fallout is a reality when you're working with powders. Next product I picked up, I didn't even know e.l.f. came out with a camo hydrating CC cream. It's described as full coverage, long lasting, dewy finish. I picked mine in the shade Light 205N. They were pretty much sold out when I went to Ulta to pick this up. But I think this is a pretty good shade match. This is another product I tried once before, and I was pleasantly surprised because let me tell you, e.l.f.'s original Camo CC cream, a lot of people were like, oh, it's just like the It Cosmetics CC cream. That was a bold-faced lie. The It Cosmetics is a very full coverage foundation. I wouldn't consider it, like when you're thinking of CC creams, I think a lot of like Korean makeup brands, they do CC creams really well, right? It sort of like balances out the color, but it's not heavy coverage. It Cosmetics, the original, is very full coverage. With that said though, I think it's a fantastic foundation. It wears really well on the skin, has a bit of a dewiness to it, but it's not too wet. It doesn't look cakey unless you cake it on, obviously. But the e.l.f. one was not similar at all. I found the e.l.f. one to be very cakey, very dry. And I actually decluttered it. And I rarely ever declutter products because if I pay with things with my money, I like to use them. And I always forget that I can return things. But yeah, I've tried this once before and I was pleasantly surprised. So I'm going to go ahead and try it again today. First, I'm going to prime with the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, just because they're from the same brand, and I do love me a gripping primer. So let's take a little bit of that. Please don't judge me. My brushes are all dirty, but I'm going in with this like dual fiber angled brush. You want to let the gripping primer dry a little bit. I'm just gonna buff it in. It might be a little too deep because I am the color of paper. I can make it work. It does a relatively good job covering up my acne, which is the area I'm most concerned about when I'm doing foundation. That is like one layer, pretty sheared out. I don't like to go too heavy on with foundation, because that's when you start to get problems. So I did do a good job like covering the acne, except for this one, which basically an open wound at this point. So I don't expect really any foundation to look good over it. So I applied like one even layer with that brush, and I like to, controversial maybe, take a dry sponge and just sort of like really work it into the skin. That way if I went too heavy in certain areas, it'll pick up the extra foundation. like especially around the nose area. I picked up the Live Tinted, what's it called? Hue Skin Serum Concealer. I have mine in the shade 20, which I believe is the lightest shade. I did swatch them in store. There are not too many light shades. Looks like that. I'm sure you've seen it. It's not super new, but I've heard so many good things about it. Actually looks like a good shade. I'm just gonna put it like under the eyes. I think I'm just gonna do it under the eyes. I'm okay with the coverage on the face. Going in with this tiny Real Techniques, what is it called? Medium sculpting brush. I'm gonna just blend out that concealer. I like the color. It's not like too bright. It's got a nice neutral undertone. It's blending out really nice. Sometimes with serum concealers, I get scared because I do have lines under my eyes. So serum just makes me think of something like very liquidy, moist, that will gather, won't dry down. Upon first impression, that looks really good. Doesn't look cakey at all. I really like the color. But because it is a serum concealer, I am going to set it down. I'm going to set my whole face because I'm looking very shiny. I just did like a quick little setting with a Laura Mercier powder. God, I feel like I have hairs all over my face. It's driving me crazy. I also saw LA Girl Cosmetics came out with a bunch of new products, and I actually picked up some of their face products. So they came out with this Sun Kissed Glow Envy Bouncy Bronzer. This is in the shade Sun Kissed. A highlighter, Bouncy Highlighter in Natural Glow. And a blush in Rosy Glow. I haven't even opened these yet. Give me a moment. This is the bronzer. It feels like a cream. Oh, it's like a cream to powder. That looks very orange. I am not a fan of orange bronzers, but for the sake of science, we shall try this out. Going in with this Real Techniques. Going in with the Real Techniques, I don't know, I think it's a foundation brush. The name has worn off. Just gonna apply that. Oh, that was way more pigmented than I thought it was gonna be. Actually, you know what? The shade's not bad. It's not coming out as like orange on the skin. Oh, it's actually a very nice shade. It doesn't look too crazy on me. I like to put bronzer on my nose. I'm not into contouring my nose, so a little bit of bronzer. This is the blush. It's a quick swatch of what that looks like. Very pretty. Sort of pink. I need a brush. Let's take this one. Alright. I can fix this, guys. If that ever happens to you, just go in with the whatever you use to apply your foundation, or just keep blending it. So, okay. I panicked. It's fine. It blends out. But yeah, if you ever feel like you went a little bit overboard on blush, bronzer, whatever, just take your foundation, the brush you applied your foundation or sponge or whatever, and you basically are going to use that as a corrector. Oh, it's actually a very pretty shade of pink. And this is the highlighter. Upon swatching it, it looks a lot like, maybe with not as much glitter, but Urban Decay's, what is it, Space Cowboy? The single sparkly shade. Oh, that is pretty. Those are pretty much all of the new products I had for this video, I think. So let me go ahead and finish. I'm going to apply some lashes, liner, and a lipstick, and I will be right back. So this is the finished look. Just throw on a neutral lipstick and some lashes. I think this look came out super pretty. The only thing I will say, the concealer is creasing or has gathered, which is normal when you have fine lines. So that is the one thing I'll have to play around a bit more with. I do have like a dewier sunscreen on and an eye cream, so it just may be too much moisture for that area. Eyeshadow palette, I'm going to be doing a few more looks, and I'll probably do those like in the reels or shorts or whatever. These really surprised me. Upon swatching them, I was a little scared, a little skeptical, but putting them on the face, they look very nice, very soft, blend out easily. They don't carry other shades, at least not in store, so that may be an area they can work on, is offering more shade ranges, because I am extremely fair and these all work for me. So if you're medium to deep, dark, I'm not sure how these would translate. Again, the blush may be buildable, but the other two, I am not sure. The e.l.f. Camo. This is my second time trying it, so I'll see how I feel about it at the end of the day. But the other day I tried it, and it wore beautifully. I mean, I do wear glasses, so it wore off there, but no big deal. I'll go ahead and leave all the products I used today, even the ones I didn't film on camera, down below. If there's an asterisk, it's an affiliate link, so if you purchase through it, I'd make a small commission. If that makes you uncomfortable, you can just shop directly through the retailer. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this sort of video. Let me know what you think of this look. Have you tried any of these products? Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, all those good things, and I will see you next time. Take care.